Irina had a very happy childhood from every point of view. A mom, a dad, a big house, and a big yard. And her father was her biological father, not a foster parent. They lived in the countryside. The house was huge, as many as 2 floors. The home of Irina's parents was the biggest on their street. When Irina was a child, they bought a car and lived well, maybe even richly. What is the most crucial thing in the village? The main thing is not to drink alcohol. You will have everything: work, money, and a side job. Irina's father was a jack of all trades. They say he had his hands in the right place. There was an actual entertainment park in Irina's yard. Swings, merry-go-rounds, different climbs. Her father's hands made everything. Other children envied Irina and stood in line to be invited to her yard to play. Not everyone in the village lived as happily as Irina. Many had stepfathers who either hated their stepchildren or were openly abusive. Some of the children's mothers drank, but more often, of course, the father drank. Some had both parents who drank. Some had no parents. They lived at their grandmother's, and their mom and dad either drank themselves to death or were imprisoned. In the village, it is not easy to be weak. In the town, you need the willpower not to give up and to face all kinds of trouble bravely. There's a harvest disaster, drought, or heavy rains. No one is protected from anything. While one person will clench his fists, bend over a seedbed, and work hard, the other will shrug and go to the market for alcohol. People are different, lives are different, and destinies are different too. That's why everyone thought Irina was lucky. She grew up a capricious, even spoiled brat. She grew up like, I can be friends with this or that, and I can't be friends with those because I decided so. I want to be friends with someone, and now I don't want to be friends anymore. Parents spoiled their daughters and didn't realize they were making a mistake. But everything ends, and the happy, carefree life also ends. So it happened that Irina's mother fell ill, not just with the flu or a cold. The misfortune came out of nowhere. At first, the woman's vision began to fall very severely and quickly. It is unclear what caused it. And when she went to the doctor, it was found out that she had a brain tumor. It pressed on the optic nerve, which is why she could not see well. It was too late for surgery. If you had come before your vision began to fall, the doctor said, who would have thought to have a checkup if nothing was wrong? And when her eyesight began to fail, they did not go to the city immediately. It was far away. There were other things to do, the farm, the garden. They came for a checkup when she could see no further than an arm's length away. It turned out that the brain cancer was already at an inoperable stage. They went home with nothing. She came home to die. Soon the mother went completely blind. The girl was 12 at the time. She had to help her mother, but the girl only became more capricious. Her mother died when Irina turned 13, right on her birthday. They say such coincidences are common in families. A child is born on the day a relative dies. It counts as a kind of continuation. But when someone dies on the birthday of someone already living, it is a reproach, a reminder for the rest of their life. It was a real shock for the girl. It wasn't how she imagined her birthday. She was expecting a cake, guests, and gifts, but it turned out to be tears, a black dress, and a memorial dinner. After the funeral, Irina was just in shock. Everyone thought she was suffering for her mom, but she just didn't know what to do or live. Who was worried was the girl's father. Not only did he have a teenage daughter to look after, but he loved his wife. After the funeral, he sat at the table as if in a daze. He said someone brought him a glass of vodka. I don't drink at all. Drink it in one gulp and you'll feel better. And he did. Then he must drink to the deceased, he was told. That was his first glass of alcohol. And then there were more. It does feel better, thought Irina's father, and went on a deep binge. Not remembering himself, the man poured out his grief from when he lost his wife until Irina was 15. That morning, she woke him up with words full of anxiety and despair. Daddy, Daddy, I can't see. I am blind like mother, Irina said. She really couldn't see anything. She woke up in the morning and did not understand why it was so dark. She could hardly find her father sleeping on the sofa in front of the TV. It wasn't by touch, but by smell. He smelled like booze. Stop fooling around, Irina. Look, here's my hand. How many fingers? He asked and waved his outstretched hand in front of Irina's face. I can't see. I need to visit a doctor. Do you have any money? Irina shouted. Life was not as good now as it had been before. Having lost his job due to constant drunkenness, her father began to drink away things from the house and sold his car for nearly nothing. There was never any money in the place, no food either, and only the swings and merry-go-rounds in the yard reminded them of their life before. But Irina no longer used them. Her adult life began with her mother's death and her father's drinking spree, and then she went blind. While her father was thinking about what to do, looking for a loan, time passed and Irina became psychotic. What if it was like with her mother? She would go to the doctor and they would say it was too late. Of course, it did not improve her health and her eyesight did not return on its own. Finally, her father got the money and took her to the doctor. There was no tumor and the blindness was due to nervousness. The doctor explained to Irina's father that he had to surround her with care as he did when she was a child. Irina's problem with her eyesight was not physical but a mental one. She was in the hospital for a while, then went home, then back to the hospital again. Her sight never came back. Her father drank, and Irina's life became a nightmare. She constantly cried and missed the peaceful times when her mother was alive. She mentally begged forgiveness for her bad behavior, but it was too late to repent. When the girl was 18, she was hospitalized again, only not for her eyesight, but because she fell off the porch and broke her leg. The step was rotten, but her father was in no hurry to fix it. Irina took a step out of habit, not holding the handrail, and heard a crack. The step broke, and she fell. At the hospital, no one paid any attention to her blindness. They treated her leg there, and only one guy her age was talking to her. By a strange coincidence, he was also blind. Irina could not check this and only trusted his word. He didn't tell her this reason for being in the hospital for him was that he just wheeled Irina around the ward and the park in the wheelchair when they went for walks. He always touched her. That's what blind people usually do, but the boy wasn't just touching her face to recognize her features. He said she was lovely. Irina liked his words and liked the guy. She had fallen in love. The day he was released from the hospital, she asked the nurses to write her address and phone number on paper and give it to the boy. But the nurses only giggled, and when he left the hospital, he didn't even come in to say goodbye. Irina didn't understand what was happening until the nurses told her that the guy wasn't blind at all. He was just pretending and playing with her. He took advantage of her to keep from getting bored in the hospital. Irina cried all night and then decided not to fall in love again. When she was released from the hospital, the doctor surprised her with the news. He said congratulations on the addition to the family. Irina was pregnant. So what to do now? Blind, with an alcoholic father, Irina decided not to delay with the news and told her father on the way home. "What do I need a third blind girl for?" her father said. "What do you mean a third?" Irina didn't understand. "Your mother was blind, you are blind, and your daughter will be blind. It's just like a circus," he said. "What makes you think I will have a daughter?" asked Irina. The father did not answer. After a moment, he stopped. He borrowed the car from a friend to pick Irina up from the hospital. "Get out," he commanded. Irina understood that they had not yet reached home. "I have to run some errands," father said. Irina sat down on something hard and cold. She heard the car drive away. She was afraid to leave. Where could she go, not seeing the road and finding herself in an unfamiliar place? After a while, Irina felt a strange vibration. Blind people are susceptible to things that are inaccessible to ordinary people. There was a peculiar sound as if from a train. Irina instinctively turned around. She did not understand what was happening. The girl did not know that her father had put her on the train tracks to get rid of her and the child in such a brutal way. Suddenly, someone grabbed Irina by her clothes and began to lift her higher and higher. By flapping its wings, she realized it was a bird. Irina was speechless. What a big bird it must have been! Irina heard a train whizzing nearby. The bird lowered Irina to the ground. She listened to a man's voice calling out to the bird. The man ran up to Irina and asked if she had been injured. As it turned out, the rich guy had come to the forest to train his white-headed eagle. When he saw the girl sitting on the tracks, he was confused and did not know what to do. The bird reacted faster and pulled the girl up ahead of the train. The white-headed eagle is a giant bird. Irina told the man what had happened to her. Without saying a word, he took her away with him. The rich man fell in love with the girl and soon married. He became the father of her child without unnecessary questioning. The day Irina became a mother, she regained her sight. She never saw her father again. That's the story. Thank you for listening to it till the end. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and click on the bell not to miss out on new videos. Have a good day.